Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for guys. Today guys, of course, we're checking out the newest episode of Moon Knight that dropped a few hours ago. This is Moon Knight Season 1, Episode 2, Summon the Suit, which is exactly what happened at the end of the first episode, The Goldfish Problem. Now, that first episode was so crazy and bonkers. It was like, okay, there's a lot going on here. Like, is all this real? All that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, it seems like it was all real. And all we were seeing in terms of the majority of the episode to the last like couple of seconds when he turns into Moon Knight Mark, Steven experiencing time, changes or whatever in terms of like where he's losing time. And he's like, well, how do I get this gun? And what's going on here? That guy's dead back there in this truck or whatever. And why am I in this town? And what's going on? It's a lot of stuff going on. And I'm really excited to see what happens because I think that first episode did a great job of like continuing the story and not really wasting time. Like with a lot of other Marvel Disney Plus shows, the first episodes are overall mostly good-ish, but it's like a lot of setup. This episode, of course, has setup, but they move the story along pretty damn quick to the point where it's like it feels refreshing, it feels great, and I'm excited. I loved how they handled that first episode, and I cannot wait to dive into episode 2, which of course, Summon the Suit. That ending was phenomenal. We've seen a lot of that, of course, in the marketing, but it was still amazing to see Steven, and then there's Mark over here like, Steven, look at me. Look, we're not going to die. Just let me take control. And then that transformation, and it just beating the shit out of that. I think it was Jackal or whatever, I think. People were saying it was Jackal that Moon Knight was taking the shit. Like, he was like, oh no, and he drags him back in. Like, you see, like, brief shot of Jackal, like, grabbing, trying to get out, and then dragged back in. It was so good, and I cannot wait to episode 2. So here we go, guys. Episode 2 of Moon Knight. I cannot wait. Summon the Suit. Let's go. Oh. He's gonna think it was a dream. Yeah, maybe.
It's like Area 51.
There's not gonna be anything on the footage. It's gone or whatever, or deleted or something.
Ready? Just a minute. Here it comes. Wait. No, just a minute. You messed up the news. Mate, still you, bruv.
That look.
That's not me. We've spoken to your colleagues.
Okay.
It's all been a bit of a struggle for you recently.
He's losing the name tag. Damn. Steven. I like that a little bit from our first episode.
Things hidden in my flat. I'm not joking.
This guy's like, I could hear this guy talk all day.
That's worth exploring.
What's inside? What's in there? What does Mark have in there? Oh. This is where Mark sleeps? When he's in control? Yeah. Stockpiling cash?
Mark Spector. It's real.
Still has it. Yeah. It's real.
Wondering if you'd pop up again? I know you're scared. A bit, yeah.
A little.
You're confused. You weren't supposed to see any of this. No, well, a bit late for that, isn't it? I don't care how bloody handsome you are. Tell me what it is you are.
Just tell him.
I serve Khonshu. I'm his avatar. Which means you are too. I eat one piece of steak and then bam, I go bonkers.
I eat one piece of steak. He blames. Oh my gosh, Steven. Yep. That was him. Yeah. Oh, shit. That was awesome.
Where have you been?
Mark? Oh god, no. He's like, hi?
What the hell is going on? Do you see the spiral you put me through? Is that okay? Yeah, I'm still your wife.
Wife?
By the way, this would be a...
What? Oh, the reflection.
She shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Get her out of here, Steven.
Are you living here with someone else?
No.
No, oh no.
I mean, well,
No.
if you want to be technical about it.
No, this is my mum's flat.
Divorce papers.
Yeah, are we doing this or not?
He's technically not married to you, so
Steven, listen to me. And inside of it,
he's trying to tell him to stop.
all sorts. Get away from the bed.
Too late.
Scarab pointing to Amatu Shakti? I'm supposed to believe anything you say with this shoved in a what agenda?
Take it.
Take it. Whatever.
Take it.
Adventures.
Adventures. Indiana Jones
Our lives
Adventures?
together. Mind if we come in, Mr. Grant?
No, don't come in.
Actually,
No.
appreciate it. 'Cause,
What is this about
been dealt
exactly?
with, yeah.
They're like, what's going on with your bed? Looking for her, I think. Yeah, maybe.
Mark Spector?
Oh boy.
That's not mine.
That's not me.
Tell me that.
Oh boy.
We've only got ourselves a full-blown international fugitive.
Stop.
International fugitive, my god. Okay, let Mark take over.
As part of a team of mercenaries.
Help, please! I've been kidnapped.
You're not being kidnapped. Oh shit. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Never giving you control again. Ever.
He's right
You hear
there.
me?
He's right there. Oh.
Okay, what is it? You see him? You see him right now? That's a privilege I no longer have. Kill him. What's he saying?
Kill him.
Is he telling you to kill me?
Yes.
Yo.
Watching dolphins. Alright.
Real justice. I am real justice.
How does he know what he's saying?
I was his former avatar. Before you, I
Really?
was the fist of vengeance.
Interesting.
Isn't that a bit dodgy? Like trusting the judgment of
Bit dodgy.
weird crocodile lady?
Yeah.
You don't need to doubt her judgment. Don't you say her name. Do not give Layla up. Just give me the body.
God damn it. Give me the body.
I don't. Khonshu is a liar. There's always.
Khonshu's a liar. I don't think he is, though.
You're all into that, like killing children and that. Maybe that's just me, but
Just me.
I kind of draw a line there. It contains in it a tiny
They're backing up.
sliver of her power. I don't want to use it.
Summon the suit.
Summon the suit. He's like, what?
Summon the suit.
He can't unless he lets Mark in. Oh, that's weird.
Your name is Mark.
Just let him in. Come on. Yeah. Jackal. She's like,
Jackal.
oh, she can't see it. Oh. Mr. Knight.
What the hell are we wearing? I don't know. She said I needed a suit. Yeah, the ceremonial.
Not that
armor of
suit.
Khonshu's temple, not-
Oh. It's interesting that she can't see. Like, that makes sense. The security footage is not going to show the jackal. Oh. That was nice. Okay. Oh.
You're in my yard now.
Oh, God.
Come on, that's right.
Nice. Good job.
Do you reckon there's having a scene shot?
No.
It's just a fancy dress.
It's so weird because I can't see it. Damn. Oh, shit. You better run. Ooh. Oh, shit. Wow. That was really cool.
I wish you could live to see the world we make.
Oh, my God. I wish you could see the... Oh, boy. I'm taking it back. It's not working, is it?
Sorry. You hurt people. You abandoned your wife. You left her stranded. I did not. I am protecting her. You don't know what
Protecting
you're
her.
talking about. Yes, you did. I saw.
You know I'll protect you with everything I have. You are worth protecting. Should we part, you may not like my next candidate.
Oh.
And dear as she is.
I figured. I was like, that's where he's going. Okay. This freaking episode was so good. Holy crap. And I figured it would be good because the first episode was great and this one, great. Great stuff. So, first things first. Mr. Knight. We got to see Mr. Knight a little bit in this episode. It was really cool to see that. And just when Stephen falling, suit! And then he lands and he's in the Mr. Knight suit. And he's like, oh, what's going on here? And he was slowly figuring stuff out. And with Layla, which showing up was quite surprising. Not so much because, of course, he turned his phone on and everything. When he turned on Mark's phone, Steven, and he's like, hello? And then she's like, Mark, and all that kind of stuff. And then we find out their connection and everything, and why she showed up, why she tracked his phone and everything. But the fact that she couldn't see the jackal, that was interesting. So, okay. So this episode just pretty much, like, not exactly did the same stuff as episode 1 in terms of, like, pace and everything, because there was different stuff going on in terms of, we're already pretty much established a lot of this stuff. The opening of the episode, of course, is going back to what happened at the end of the episode, and Steven shows up. He's like, what's going on and everything, and he goes to talk to the security guy who never got his name right. He always called him a different name. And he's like, okay, can I go with you to security footage? He's like, okay, so watch this. And we don't see the jackal. The jackal does not appear at all in the footage. And then there's the shot of Steven, it's actually Mark, walking into camera frame and staring at the camera. It's clearly not Steven, it's Mark. He's like, that's not me. But the jackal was nowhere on the footage. And my first thought was, okay, so they're going to delete the footage, or something's going to happen to the footage. Well, no, it actually shows what went down, but there's no jackal. The jackal is just not shown at all in the footage that was, of course, shown. I'm wondering if there was more footage or whatever, because there's certain points where the jackal's running into stuff or whatever, and probably making marks on the wall, because they did make a point to show within that little chase sequence when we finally get to see Moon Knight, when Mark takes over, that when he jumps on the car, there's a glass like point where the glass breaks on the windshield or whatever, or cracks, because it's the jackal that was stepping on it. But regardless, so then Layla shows up, and she's like, what are you doing? Like, well, drop the accent, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, so who is she exactly? Turns out it's Mark's wife. Well, technically, I guess Mark wanted to divorce her, but it's all because to try to protect her, because basically Khonshu wants Layla as the next person that is going to be the avatar, if you will, to Khonshu. And that was Khonshu's like choice. Like, he even said at the end of the episode, you know, you're not gonna like my next choice if we part ways. Just letting you know, like, he still wants to use Layla as the next avatar. And then finding out too, Ethan Hawke's character Arthur, I believe his name was Arthur, right? I think they said another name for him, I believe, but he was the avatar or whatever. He was the embodiment or whatever, basically working for Khonshu before Mark, Steven. That was interesting. I was like, oh, so you kind of understand what's happening here, because when that whole sequence went down where Layla's in the apartment and everything, and then there's a knock at the door, I'm like, they're not pressing charges at the museum, so what's going on here? And of course, these two individuals that pick up Steven are in fact working for Arthur, working for the villain, working for the bad guy, and bringing him to a location like, this is not the police station. It's like, oh, what made you think that? They left a radio in there when they left the vehicle, and hearing Steven talking to Mark, and then realizing, okay, this is what's happening. And he knew, like, do you see Khonshu? Do you see him right now? Do you see him? Like, he was seeing him, and like, are you hearing him? Is he? And it's funny, Khonshu would say something, and then he'd be like, so is he saying that he's the fist of vengeance, or something of justice or whatever? It's like, you pretty much know exactly, like, so that pretty much implies he was indeed working for Khonshu at one point. At one point, he was hearing and seeing Khonshu. And so he's not bullshitting on that. Or maybe he's doing something to make it. But then Khonshu never, like, went against or said anything about, you know, this guy's lying or whatever. Because Khonshu makes it very well known what he's thinking. So I would think that if Arthur was lying, he would have said something. Or he would have, you know, set something into Steven's head. That whole community thing, it's really bizarre, because there's a bunch of them sitting there and they're watching dolphin footage or whatever. They're like, you know, just staring at dolphin footage on a screen, and Arthur's going through all this kind of stuff and everything. But as soon as the scarab is mentioned, that's when they'll start getting up and walking towards Steven. And at this point, he actually doesn't have it, because when they were in the apartment, Layla's like, you got this? And we had all these adventures to get this. It's like, oh, so this is important. Like, obviously, it's important because, of course, the first episode, that's what he wanted. He's like, where's the scarab? Give me the scarab. And he kept trying to hand it to him, but like, his body kept rejecting him handing over the scarab. So apparently the scarab is very important. And apparently they went on adventures, Layla and Mark, to find the scarab. And he's like, no, here, just take it. I don't want it. He's like, I don't want it. And then Mark's like, don't give it away. Don't give it away. and so it's like, it's very important. And then, of course, all that goes down, and then the Mr. Knight reveal and everything, and punching that jackal, he was so happy. He was so happy. He's like, yeah. But the thing is that no one can see the jackal. Layla didn't see the jackal. Like, what do you mean jackal? What are you talking about? And so when she slammed a bottle, I'm guessing there was some liquid in it, liquid in the bottle, over the jackal, then she sees kind of an outline of the face a little bit. So she's like, okay. Yeah, it's real. It's real. Okay, Steven's not lying. This is actually here. And that's why the footage never said the jackal, because no one can see the jackal except for him. And just seeing him, like, run around, like, he took off the jacket of Mr. Knight and just, like, throwing punches and stuff. And all these people are standing around, like, there's the bus where he's getting slammed into. And then there's all these people standing around. And he's like, is he okay? Like, no, like... You can't see what he's fighting, but if they did, they'd be freaking out and running away. But they're all just staring at this guy, just throwing punches and whatever at the air, and they have no idea what's going on. So it was really cool for him to finally rise up and go, and Mark is talking to Steven, so, hey, can you just let me in now? You can't do this. Like, oh, people are going to get hurt. And then that transformation, we've seen that transformation a number of times in the marketing, but it was still really cool in the context of it, and then pulling out the moon... like little knives or whatever, just like, and then that shot, of course, jumping over between the two buildings or whatever, and there's the moon in there and everything. It's just really cool stuff to see the Moon Knight suit, and then being there and then killing the jackal. It like disintegrates. Talks to Khonshu, of course. Well, Steven also, he's like, so this is how it feels, because now he's on the other side. He's in the mirror. Because I've also noticed this too. People were pointing this out during the first episode, and now it was more apparent and clear in the second episode. A lot of parallels in terms of mirrors and reflections. It's very important to this show. And there was a lot of shots of the reflections and mirror shots or whatever. And with this, they didn't have to really like necessarily hide or try to like slowly introduce that in terms of this reflectiveness about where at any point Mark and Spectre can have a back and forth conversation in a sense through any sort of reflection or mirror. And they were, like I said, introducing that in the first episode. Okay, get this off my damn computer. Anyways, something popped up on my computer. Why won't it cancel? What the fuck is going on? Yes, cancel, you stupid shit. Get out of here. Anyways, back to the point. Sorry about that. Back to the point. So, the fact is now they don't have to waste time introducing that, even though it's not really wasting time. They don't have to reintroduce that concept. We already understand it, so they really used it as a tool to further the story in terms of Mark trying to explain anything. Because when Steven finds his like basically storage unit, and then of course the whole thing is reflective. Like, of course Mark's going to show up here, and then he finds the passport, he finds the gun, a gun. There's a lot of money in this bag, and that's where the scarab is too. And then actually talking to Mark, and he's like, look, you gotta let me in. And then of course he runs out with the bag, and then Khonshu's chasing Steven. It was really well done in that aspect, because now that we've already established everything, now we can really further the storyline even more. And they were furthering the storyline like crazy in the first episode, but now it's like there's a lot going on here. We got some reveals. We saw Mr. Knight, we saw Moon Knight once again. It was just really well done in that aspect. And now they ended with Mark in Egypt, and there's Steven in the room as well in the reflection, and then there's Mark drinking. He's like, because his whole thing is, we have a deal. He has a deal with Khonshu, but apparently Khonshu doesn't want to stick with the deal. It doesn't seem like it, at least. It's like, like I was saying, he wants Layla as the next Avatar. Like, well, if we part ways, my next choice, you're not going to like it. It's like, what is it, because she went on the adventures with him? Is that why Khonshu wants to choose her? Like, I don't know, like, what the purpose is. There must be a reason behind Khonshu's choice of who he wants next as the person who's going to serve him. I don't know. And now, unfortunately, Arthur has the scarab, and so the whole plan is to get there first, to find the tomb first, before Arthur and all the evil people that follow him, or all the people that willingly just follow him, even though that it's clear he's a bad guy. He's not a good guy. He killed that guy who found it, and just because he had it. He's like, well, he's like, I'll give you food, water, all that kind of stuff. And he takes care of him. Okay, well, unfortunately, you're not going to live to see this world. Like, okay. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes down. And I'm assuming based off these first 2 episodes in terms of how they went about pacing the episode and progressing in the story, that the 3rd episode and hopefully the rest of the show, all the 6 episodes, are going to be great. Please be good. Please be good. So anyways, guys, that's the reaction. That's the video. I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. Whatever you thought about this episode, please let me know in the comments below. Great episode once again. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.